He's got Cheerio in his mouth. So today I'm doing the video that I promised in the booktube newbie tag. Is every book I bought last year that I can remember. I have a vague memory of which ones that I did actually shelve. This is not exactly a comprehensive list. It's most of them. But I will be showing everyone that I can. This is Shadowfell by Juliet Marillier. I am on a big Juliet Marillier kick. I have read the first 5 books in her 7 Waters series, and I also have read Wildwood Dancing. And this is her Scottish folklore-based series. She just came out with another book, The Amber Owl. I don't know how to get my hands on it. I tried to get my library to purchase it and they said no. I think I have to purchase it directly from Australia. I'm gonna have to get my grubby little paws on it somehow. Going along with that, Sibel's Secret. Actually, is that how you pronounce her name? For proper pronunciation, please turn to the back of the book. Her name pronunciation isn't in here. Sybil? Sybil. This is the sequel to Wildwood Dancing companion novel. I don't think the main character is the same. The first one was set in Transylvania and kind of had a vampire-y / fairy feel. I think this one is similar. Yes. I got this one from Thrift Books. I can see it from the tag. It is The Beginning of Spring by Penelope Fitzgerald. I got the bookshop, and this is something I want to read very soon because it's called The Beginning of Spring and it's set in Moscow. This feels like a nice spring book as well. If I like one, I will read the other. Next is a book that I used to own as a teenager. It's Plain Song by Kent Haruf. I found this at Barnes & Noble and bought it brand new like years ago. Watch this be the same exact copy I had. He interweaves the stories of a pregnant high school girl, a lonely teacher, a pair of boys abandoned by their mother, and a couple of crusty bachelor farmers. This is one I definitely found at the library. Classified as humor and poetry. Archie and Mehitabel by Don Marquis. And it looks so cute. I love the typewriter font. It is formatted in verse. Don Marquis first introduced Archie the cockroach and Mehitabel, a cat in her 9th life, in his newspaper column The Sundial in 1916. So I see Archie the cockroach is recording these poems on the typewriter. But he is not strong enough to make capital letters, so it all comes out lowercase. I picked this up from Thrift Books. This is a fairy tales collection, I believe, that Marianne Moore contributed to. Retellings of fairy tales? I don't really know. She's telling Puss in Boots, The Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella. She is my favorite poet. I get a little scared when it comes to my favorite people. I just hoard their books like little acorns and then I don't crack into the shell enough. Another random one I found, The Wild Geese by Oge Mori. Another gorgeous edition. In a way, the most Japanese novel ever written. Now, what does that mean, I wonder? Next is one I have started. I just read the introduction and I cracked into the beginning of the poem, but this is Evangeline, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. This is about Nova Scotia, the colonization of the lands by the French. The introduction gives a lot of detail. I was distracted by other things at the time, so I want to restart the poem and really give it a good shot. Robert Frost poems, the new enlarged pocket anthology. This one I loved, not just because I think it's a nice old, good smelling edition, but it has illustrations. Look at that bird! I could tell by the picture which poem this was. Can you? Then another one that I started is Comet in Moominland by Tove Jansson. Technically the first in the Moomin series, but I think Moomins in the Great Flood was actually the first. And I've read 26 pages and it's really cute. I just wasn't in the mood for that at the time. I adore the illustrations. Tag yourself. Which Moomin are you? That's me. Another funny little book I got is Mist Across the Moors by Lillian Peake. When Tracy spent a night with Brett Hardwick on the moors, couldn't have been more innocent, but unfortunately the episode led to a lot of damaging gossip. This is a fake dating sort of situation. I'm gonna have to do an organizing my bookshelf sort of thing. I went to Barnes & Noble and they were having a sale. It still has the new book smell, but it's The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've heard nothing but amazing things about Robin Hobb. I am loving Juliet Marillier. I enjoyed myself reading Game of Thrones. This is gonna be a great read. I'm not sure if I got this last year, but it is the antiquarian sticker book for a lot of my journaling. I do a lot of journaling and I want to do a book journaling video soon because I am very behind. Flora, fauna, botanicals, and bees. It's another sticker book. Almost positive this was $5 from Barnes & Noble. Conversational Design by Erica Hall. This was for my writing on the web course. Oh, more Juliet Marillier. My goodness. I definitely did purchase the last 3 books in the Seven Waters series last year. All hardcover and all from different places. This is the last one I have to read. I really went on a binge buying these. I got this from an independent bookstore. This whole collection, The Warrior Bards. Oh, it looks like this is also set in Ireland, which is very exciting to me. I got this from Beautywood Books, Dance with Fate, The Harp of Kings, and A Song of Flight. At one of the many library book sales I went to, I also got, she has a pronunciation, it's The Brid Chronicles, The Dark Mirror, The Blade of Fortru, and The Well of Shades. I believe I bought this brand new, might have gotten it from Thrift Books. A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. I have read a lot of excerpts of her things for various English courses over the years, but I actually want to read a full work of hers. 2 copies of Wild. Oh, feel like Trixie Mattel looking into the mirror. I got this copy from Thrift Books after I listened to it, and then I found this beautiful hardcover at Goodwill for half off, so it was like only $1, and I'm planning on gifting one of these copies to one of my friends who I think will really enjoy it. It's one of my friends who loves national parks.
Hell no, man, what the fuck?
Yeah! Also by Robin Hobb, I got Fool's Errand. Oh, and what do you know? More Juliet Marillier books. I have Wolfskin. I did not buy that one last year, but I did purchase Fox Mask, the second book of this duology. And then I also have Den of Wolves. It says it's a Blackthorn and Grimm novel. I do not have the first 2 books. I swear this is my last Juliet Marillier book. Heart's Blood. I think a standalone, and I know nothing about it, but I just trust her. I'm gonna try and flow into my more non-fiction, memoir-y type books. This is my little cute copy of Tiny Beautiful Things. I listened to this on audiobook first, and then I acquired a copy from Thrift Books. One of my very favorite books that I read last year, The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating by Elizabeth Tova Bailey. Unfortunately, it did come damaged. It's from Thrift Books, but it's a nice hardcover. I would love to have a really pristine copy, but it doesn't really matter. And if you didn't know, this is a book about a woman with chronic illness, and she takes care of a snail. I picked up A Little History of the World. I have an inkling that it was from Goodwill by E.H. Gombrich. It sounds like the Little History of the World. What can I say? Also mentioned in my other videos, so I won't go too much into them, but Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I've been wanting to get into more biographies. As I mentioned in my other video, I read Jane Austen at home, so I'm wanting to read more biographies, and I have some on my shelf already. I have a Ralph Emerson one, The Mind on Fire. Love Emerson. Don't love Thoreau. Closely related is Holding On Upside Down, The Life and Work of Marianne Moore by Linda Lovell. My favorite English professor was Dr. Lovell, so when I first looked at this, it's like, oh my god, she wrote a biography. This is not the same person. I love Marianne Moore. Oh, someone took some notes. This is why I love used copies. It says Linda Lovell has been studying Marianne Moore's life and work for 3 decades. She lives with her husband in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Now that's very intriguing. Arkansas, you say? This is definitely not the same person. I want to have a beautiful collection of Marianne Moore poetry. And I have a really ugly copy of the selected letters of Marianne Moore. I It's really not pretty, but that means I won't feel bad about writing in it. A memoir that I read maybe last year, it might have been the year before, but I just acquired a copy, is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This is a must read for everyone. If you don't know Chanel Miller, well, you know her name now. Another book of letters is the letters of Rupert Brooke and Noelle Oliver. I saw this at the library, have no clue who these people are, but I thought it looked gorgeous. More letters. I think this is my last collection of letters, and so if you're completely bored to death, don't worry. It's 84 Charing Cross Road. A very fun, quick, short, quirky book about an American writer who is a big reader, and she has correspondence with a bookshop on 84 Charing Cross Road in London. She is really witty and funny and quirky, and the booksellers always respond so formally, and it's just a really funny dichotomy between them, and you can see the relationship develop over many years. This one I am incredibly proud of. The Serviceberry. This was just released. Found it for $1 at Goodwill, brand spanking new. Someone must have gotten this as a gift for Christmas. It's a beautiful, beautiful copy. All I need to do is get my hands on Gathering Moss now. Another memoir is Joan Didion's The Year of Magical Thinking. I could not tell you where I got this, and I've heard that this is a very difficult read. I'm not going to say that this is the last of my it's definitely not the last of my nonfiction, but it is My Own 2 Feet by Beverly Cleary. Ariel Bissett recommended this, and it was very intriguing to me. I grew up reading Beverly Cleary, definitely read Ramona books. I love reading about writers and their process and just their lives. This is White Oleander by Janet Fitch. I definitely got this secondhand, I'm not sure where. Anna Wallace Johnson, I believe this is one of her favorite books she read as a teenager, and she made a video not too long ago rereading it. I really hope I am not confusing that with something else. And no, I have no idea what it is about. Sometimes I don't like to read the blurbs because it can make me feel... This is a very random fantasy book, Bellwether by Dennis Mahoney. I was attracted to the very whimsical little cover and the map. A young woman must uncover the secrets of her past while confronting the present dangers of a magical wilderness. I'm sold. One of the oceans is called the Eccentric Ocean. Now we're delving into my poetry and plays. I took a very intensive Shakespeare course where I read a good chunk of his stuff, but not everything, and I want to read everything. Much Ado About Nothing. These are all probably from the library. Then at Twelfth Night, I've read A Midsummer Night's Dream multiple times. One of my favorites. As You Like It. This is one that I have not read. Well, I kind of confuse As You Like It and Much Ado About Nothing. One of them I've read, and it's only been once. I've read The Tempest multiple times. I've read Midsummer multiple times. I've read Romeo and Juliet many times. Macbeth and Hamlet like twice. So it's all starting to kind of blur together. And then I bought this brand spanking new from Barnes & Noble. It's The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. It's a brand new copy that's only mine, so I will be annotating it. Because for some reason, I feel better about annotating a brand new copy of something than something that's been loved before. This book of poetry looks very ugly on the outside. It's called How It Is by Sue Abbott Boyd. I do not know this author. Underneath, it has a very cute green cover with gold lettering. Do Not Peel the Birches by Felita Brown Jackson. Got this from the library. It's the winner of the Verna Emery Poetry Prize. I believe it. The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. There's so much hope in this poem, right? So much hope. And then this is a winner of the National Book Award, How to Be Drawn by Terrence Hayes. And he explores how we see in our scene. Poetry is something that I can just pick it up, and it could be from anyone, by anyone, I don't know. I'll pick it up and read it. This one might be controversial. I found it at the library, and it's by Ayn Rand. It's called Anthem. I know she's kind of controversial, but I don't know why, so I guess I don't care. I know she wrote Atlas Shrugged, and I really don't know what it's about. This summary was very intriguing to me, that depicts the horrors which can happen to mankind if current political trends are projected into the future. This story was written in 1937. So I believe 2025 is the future. No clue what political stance this is from, so don't sue me. Well, lock me up. Looking Backward by Edward Bellamy. Utopian America is the backdrop. A prophetic novel about a young Boston gentleman who is mysteriously transported from the 19th century to the 21st century. Apparently, it is the blueprint of the perfect society. This is a very random one I found that I bought because of the cover. And it has deckled edges and little French flaps. It's called Reading the Morning Paper, a novel by Harriet Scott Chessman. Beautifully captures the rich relationship between model and painter and between sisters. This one I also bought because of the cover for $1. The Matisse Stories by A.S. Byatt. Also has deckled edges. This elegant, beautifully illustrated edition contains 3 stories, each touched in a different way by the paintings of Henri Matisse. Oh, these are more letters. But this is a very interesting edition of letters. It's called The Golden Mean, in which the extraordinary correspondence of Griffin and Sabine concludes. So I'm missing the one that introduces the extraordinary correspondence of these two people. You can see their actual handwriting and the postcards that they've written on. But I did not realize this was part 2. So I need part 1. Oh, this is part 3. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which is the exact edition that I already own, but I got it for my partner Taylor if he wants to have it in his collection, or to anyone else who is interested in owning a wonderful copy of this little quirky book. This is by Richard Bach, and it has photographs all throughout of, you guessed it, seagulls. It's very philosophical, and it's about a seagull who wants to fly like a hawk. And I think that's beautiful. In a sort of Surf's Up fashion. Is that a good comparison? Surf's Up. Surf's Up though is the guy with the penguin, right? He's working really hard to be a seagull that's very extraordinary. Or maybe I'm thinking of Happy Feet. In a very Happy Feet fashion, Jonathan Livingston Seagull becomes a very great seagull. Something I am incredibly enthused about is the Peanuts Treasury. And as a kid, I didn't know that they were comics first. I just thought that they were the movies, but getting older, I obviously know now that they started as comics, and I never really read the comics. So I'm so excited to read this collection finally. So this just has a bunch of his comic strips. I doubt it's all of them. This is Cain's Jawbone, as described the world's most fiendishly difficult literary puzzle. 6 murders, 100 pages, millions of possible combinations, but only one is correct. So people will take this book and rip it apart and put it on the wall and try and figure it out, and I had no idea what I was getting into when I picked this up. I just knew I recognized it and thought, that looks fun. It's $1. And I'm supporting the library. And then one of my most beloved childhood books. Scramble is Scrambling. The Borrowers is the inspiration for The Secret World of Arrietty, which Studio Ghibli, I say Ghibli all the time, and it's a wonderful movie, and the book is equally as wonderful, especially for school age kids, and I loved the illustrations, but I found this for $1. That's me giving a piece of checks to my rats. Then we have The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. I have read Fahrenheit 451 back here. It's a little warped because ironically I was reading it in the bath and I dropped it in the ladder. So I was doing better than the people in this book. I wasn't burning books, I was drowning them. The Tolkien reader has just leapt from my lap into its death. It's a compilation of stories, poems, and an essay by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is just a beautiful edition. It is my goal very soon to actually read all the Lord of the Rings. I have read The Hobbit. Don't come for me. I've read The Hobbit. I want to read The Lord of the Rings desperately. I am doing that thing though where I keep putting it off because I'm so excited about it. I have this illustrated graphic novel adaptation of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a bunch of illustrations. And then I have Anne of the Island. I think I also bought 2 other Anne books last year. Might have been 3. Oh, and this one too. Okay. Ella Montgomery I did I was severely influenced by Ariel Bissett. I purchased Anne of Green Gables and read it, loved. Anne of Avonlea, DNF'd, didn't love as much, but I think I'm gonna try and finish it, but I might skip it. I know. Everyone says that the third one's way better, Anne of the Island. Will I be sued? Will you put me in jail? Is it worth finishing the second one? I just didn't care for the Davy stuff. But I loved the Anne of Green Gables graphic novel by Brenda Thumler, who also wrote an illustrated sheets. I need every single one of these and books to be illustrated by her. And then one of my favorite books of last year, another spoiler, The Blue Castle. It was very hard to come by a copy that I thought was pretty, that for a cheap amount of money, and by cheap I mean under $20. I think I did end up purchasing this for $20 from thrift books, but can you blame me? And then one of my favorite childhood movies, The Secret of NIMH. And back then I did not know it was based off Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of NIMH. And if you're a true fan, you know in the movie she's Mrs. Brisby, not Frisbee. It's by Robert C. O'Brien. I must say I prefer the movie, one for nostalgia, and I think it has more of that kind of gothic-y, magic-y factor that I was looking for, but it's still a great book and a huge reason why I own Rats today, and it does have the illustrations. Oh, that's a sad image. I don't want to show that. Give me a cute rat. Give me a cute rat. I actually have Mrs. Brisby tattooed on me. This was my second tattoo I ever got. She's definitely more realistic in the neo-traditional style. Next I have a random fairy book called Fairy Eater by Pam Halter. It's book 1 of the Fairy Garden Chronicles. Another rat mouse book, Tale of Despero. I keep saying this for all of my children's books that I show, but one of my favorite books as a kid, obviously got the Newbery Medal. At the library, I had this book in my hand, and I think this cute old couple really wanted it from me, but they kept looking at it and flipping through it. But it's How to Read a Modern Painting, Lessons from the Modern Masters. This is more of a reference book. I really want to get into painting. I do it occasionally on my own, but I do not know the correct techniques or anything like that. I just kind of do whatever. Paradise by Toni Morrison. I don't know where I found this. Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. It's freeing the writer within. Then we have Rules of the Dance by Mary Oliver. This is one of her poetry craft books. And if there's anyone I trust for poetry advice, it would be Mary Oliver. This is not new. I took an indexing class last summer for my master's program. This is my indexing books guide, and I have tabbed the hell out of it. I loved indexing. Oh, here are all my tabs. The writing advice book that I'm the most excited about is Bird by Bird. Oh, something just fell out of it. First bookmarks that my aunt gave me. Writing advice, life, memoirs type sort of thing. So however long ago Reagan from Peruse Project recommended Finnegan of the Rock. Found a copy, who knows where, and I think I would love to read this, and I believe it's a standalone. I did read Howl's Moving Castle, and I acquired this book last year. I bought it, I think, brand new. Love. I got My Friend Van Gogh by Emile Bernard. I know I got this from Goodwill. The Comfort of Crows by Margaret Rankle. The subtitle is A Backyard Year. I would really love to get into birds, and I'm really loving nature books of any kind. This one I got for very cheap, Fashion Theology, and I think it just has to do with how fashion intercepts with religion. I have really bad experiences with the church when it comes to fashion and what you're allowed to wear and what you're not allowed to wear. This one is very close to home. It's Queen of the Turtle Derby and Other Southern Phenomena by Julia Reed. What's funny about this is I have family who live in a little town that have turtle races. These turtle races are called Terrapin Derby, and yes, they race actual turtles. They get them and they race them. Used to, you would be able to take the turtles home, but of course they don't do that anymore. This is a really big sea turtle, it looks like on the cover. We did not raise sea turtles, it's terrapins. But I still go to this festival every so often. I just went last year. And my mom was the turtle queen. Oh, this is Into the Wild by John Krakauer. I read Wild, so Into the Wild is probably just as good. Things Fall Apart. Really, really want to read this. I say that about everything. And this year I'm definitely wanting to do some sort of TBR challenge to cut down on all the books that I have that are unread. I swear I do read. They're the ones I check out from the library because I get excited when I see something on Libby and I don't read the stuff on my shelf. And it's hard when a lot of these are from independent bookstores. It's like, yeah, I'll buy all of your basement books for $1. My friend said this is one of her favorite books, or books that she loved at one point. The Tiger's Wife. And then one of my all-time favorite books is Night by Elie Wiesel, and this is Dawn. I guarantee that this will be just as poignant and relevant. And then, oh, we have another Shakespeare. Told you he'd come back. Pericles. Beautiful copy. Looks like I got it from the bookstore. A favorite book from when I was about 14. Splintered. I know this is another one I bought recently. This is The Complete Essays and Other Writings of Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is not a copy I'll probably read. It's just beautiful. It's for my collection and it's wrapped in plastic. You see these red edges. I'm really not sure when I bought this. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I didn't even open up the cover. Look at that. I think I'm going to adore Trust of the Emerald Sea. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of Mistborn, I see a lot of people who have the same taste as me loving this. And I did just read The Princess Bride last year, so I'm primed for this. I'm doing one last pass over of my shelves. Hopefully all my books have marked the doorways of their homes with lamb's blood, because any of them can be unhauled at any moment. Oh, I have a bunch of books that I bought last year that I read that are in my unhaul pile. I guess I should get them out. I have Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. Read this last year. It was really fun, really fun. Very practical magic and kind of Gilmore Girls-y. Small Things Like These, read it last Christmas, loved. Well, I say loved. I said that very enthusiastically. It's kind of hard. It's not, I don't know. Since I had that strong reaction of saying loved, I guess I did love it. I just sometimes feel a little conflicted thinking about it. And then another book I borrowed from the library and then I bought it new. Well, I bought it from Thrift Books. I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I loved this. Absolutely love this. 5 stars, definitely. Science fiction, but really approachable, dystopian. And it was written in like the 30s, I think. Translated, because I think she had to flee to Casablanca during World War II. Am I making that up? If you love The Handmaid's Tale, any sort of book like that, Tamara is about to die. But I think those are all the books that I bought last year, excluding the ones that are in a pile over here to unhaul. So I guess I'll have to do an unhaul. Hopefully that's not too upsetting for everyone. Well, I had a really great time filming this and I have completely destroyed my room. Right? See you later, bugs.